Hello and welcome to the Jank Tank, a weekly series where I build questionable decks and throw them against the constructed ladder. This week we are looking at a blue-white shark control deck. We are using stuff like Voracious Great Shark and Shark Typhoon to control the late game, while putting out some early threats that'll hopefully get in under our opponent's counter spells and removal. And then we're just hoping to pan through the middle of the game using delay and some counter spells. So at the bottom end, our early threats are Flourishing Fox. It's a 1/1 for 1. You can just drop it turn 1, not really worry about it. And then every time you cycle afterwards, you can put a counter on it, making it a growing threat. It's pretty easy to pump this up to pretty reasonable size, which helps you stay in the game. It usually has to be removed early on, or else it's going to be a problem later. And it's a fine top deck at the end of the game because you can just cycle it for 1. If a chump blocker is not what you need, just toss it and get something else. It doesn't really cost a whole lot. We've got Valiant Rescuer as another cycler. This guy comes down turn 2 and he's a 3-power body, so your opponent kind of has to deal with him as well. He's pretty good at attacking opponents who maybe kept a hand that was a little ambitious and didn't have early plays. But even if he can't attack, every time you cycle, you're going to get a 1/1 soldier. So by himself, if your opponent doesn't have something that forces you to spend your mana and cards, then you can grow a small army and force them into a board wipe just with the Valiant Rescuer. We also have Ominous Seas at the 2-drop. You play this turn 2, and then some number of turns later you're going to get 8/8. It also has cycling, so all 3 of these are fine if you draw them at the end of the game, which is why they're in the deck. If you draw a Valiant Rescuer and you just don't need a 2-mana creature at the moment, you can just toss them for something else. But they all work together as well, so if you got a Flourishing Fox down, you can play the Valiant Rescuer and start cycling a lot. Or if you don't want to throw the Rescuer onto the board and you just want to keep it at the Flourishing Fox, you can cycle the Rescuer turn 2, it's fine. We also have Cerulean Drakes. Even though we've seen a lot of control decks coming up after the new set came in, this deck still has a problem with mono red, and this is just a good stabilizer. It is also a non-human body, so you can mutate Pouncing Shore Shark onto it later, which is pretty good. We have a couple options for doing that, but being able to play the Shore Shark for a little bit less mana and be a flyer is really nice. And then we have Callous Dismissal. This is just more early game stabilization to help us push towards the end of the curve. It buys us a lot of time. I especially like it against aggressive red decks that puts something like their Spitfire back in their hand and creates a chump blocker or something that can trade with the Scorching Spitter. So it's pretty good at stalling things, so that's why it's in here. We also have Brazen Borrower, another just simple bounce, and it can also double as a creature that can fly and attack. It's pretty hard to deal with and gives you an option if you are sitting on counter spells and don't need to play it, and you don't have anything you want to cycle. It's just another option to dump 3 mana at the end of their turn. We are playing Neutralize. This can be cycled for your other creatures if that's what's appropriate. If they're not biting into your open mana, you can just cycle it for some board presence. But having counterspell is always nice. This deck puts up some early aggression, and then you can just sit back with a Neutralize in your hand and wait for them to try and react. And if you can land a Neutralize against their stabilization, then you can just keep attacking with like a Flourishing Fox and a Valiant Rescuer. Up at the late game, though, we've got Voracious Great Shark. This is an amazing card if the situation works for it. They play a creature to try and stabilize against our early threats, and you just counter it and make more threats. It's usually a game ender. They'll run into it, and you'll be like, well, I'm attacking you for even more now. So it's pretty good if you can keep their board clear, and it helps. It's effectively a removal spell as well. If you can catch them when they're trying to cast their creature, it's amazing. If not, you can hard cast it anyways and just have more stuff on the board. This deck has a fair amount of bounce, so you can get some free shots in when they're not ready. We got Pouncing Shore Shark. This is our only mutation card in here, but it can go on most of our creatures besides the Valiant Rescuer and his tokens. You can mutate the army that you create from Callous Dismissal, and it comes in with a 1/1 counter because the armies are 0/0 tokens. They get plus counters. The Pouncing Shore Shark will take that and become a 5/4 instead. You can put it on Cerulean Drakes for protection from red 4/3. And if nothing else, you can put it on Flourishing Foxes for more +1 counter bonuses, or Brazen Borrowers for the bounce. It's not great on the borrower, it's only a +1 power upgrade, but it still gets you the creature bounce, which will put something back in their hand and hopefully allow you to attack them. It's another good staller, and since it's got flash, it can be a surprise blocker too. So it's pretty versatile. A lot of this deck can be played on your opponent's turn, you'll see. It's basically just the Cerulean Drake and the Callous Dismissal that don't. The Valiant Rescuer comes down, then you start cycling on their turn. Flourishing Fox is very cheap, and then you cycle on their turn. Everything else basically has flash. And then at the very top, we've got Boon of the Wishgiver. Again, it has cycling, so you can get those free tokens off of the Valiant Rescuer or the pumps for the Flourishing Fox. But I've also found this great for pushing Ominous Seas up. It's almost like getting an instant 8/8. If your Ominous Seas is halfway done, you just hard cast Boon on turn 6, and you get enough tokens to get a Kraken. It's pretty strong, especially if 2 Ominous Seas in play. That happens pretty easily. If you get 2 in your opening hand, you just go Ominous Seas, and then just Callous Dismissals and try and stay alive until you can get your Krakens out. And finally, Shark Typhoon. Obviously, this card is crazy. This might be the strongest card in Ikoria, from what I've seen. It's so versatile. As a 6-mana card, it is not great in our deck. We don't have a lot of instants and sorceries to trigger it off of. We can get, some 2/2s off of the Ominous Seas. Brazen Borrower makes the 2/2 when you play its adventure. Neutralize is great with it, of course, and Boon of the Wishgiver gives you some big stuff. But I'm not perfectly set on casting Shark Typhoon as an enchantment. It's really gross in the right decks when you have it as an enchantment. Pretty much everything makes creatures as well as removes. But in here, primarily we're going to be cycling. We want to use it as a surprise blocker, get a card, which will trigger our Ominous Seas. When we cycle, we'll get our Flourishing Fox and Valiant Rescuer up, and then we'll get a blocker that can stall for time or eat attacker, depending on where you are at your mana. It's pretty strong, as you'll see. It's a lot of the success for this deck. But yeah, that's the general game plan, is put out early threats, and then stall, bounce, and counter as you are comfortable. Got the land base. I have 1 Triumph. I'm not sure I got any more Ragruns yet. Yeah, I'm still just sitting on the 1. I would probably put some more in. This deck is really heavy on the blue, but it needs some white early game, so the mana base is a little awkward sometimes. We'll probably see that in a game or 2 of ours. But yeah, I'm just running 4 of the Temple of Enlightenments for the Scry. You can do Hallowed Fountains if you'd like. Hitting the curve is okay, pretty good in the first few turns. There's usually something for you to do with your mana, so there's an argument to be made for Hallowed Fountain, but I've got the Temple since I like to know what I'm going to cycle into sometimes. Hallowed Fountain's probably better than its Triumph, in all honesty. Yeah, I like having the cycling synergy, though. Yeah, that's the deck. We are going to try it out. I've had some pretty good success with it so far. Took me up to Platinum from low gold, so it's worked pretty well in the gold tier. We'll see what we run into in Platinum, though. Okay, this is a reasonable hand. No turn 1 Fox, so I think I'm actually just going to skip the Fox. Or playing here. These decks are really aggressive, actually. Which means that we're probably going to die. I don't think that we can put up with this much aggression. Whoa. So I was thinking about Ominous Seas turn 2, but with something like this, it's definitely going to be a Valiant Rescuer, force him to have removal. We're going to cycle the Ominous Seas. Ooh, Luris too. That's going to make things pretty difficult. And we're obviously not blocking because you can just get stuff back. Alright, so we've got Shark Typhoon and Ominous Seas. The Typhoon is going to be very helpful for us. Alright, Flourishing Fox, and then on their turn we'll cycle the Ominous Seas. If I get the opportunity, I will trade this Valiant Rescuer for the Lurrus, so hopefully he won't attack with the Lurrus. I like this. This is really aggressive. Dead weight. That's not nice. Oh man, we're completely dead. There's... being able to replay... oh, he doesn't have the mana to replay dead weight. Alright, well, we've got one thing going for us then. Okay, I was gonna say, well, offering the Lurrus is really questionable. Okay. I don't know if he's got some sort of removal for the Fox, but I guess we'd better get it out now if he does. Maybe he just wants to have stuff to replay. Good news is his hand is almost empty. The bad news is he can keep playing stuff pretty much forever. So... we're gonna sit back. He may just go for the dead weight again. I would be fine with that because we can cycle to bump the Flourishing Fox. Okay, so I'm going to cycle the Boon. Callous Dismissal is pretty good. And then we're going to cycle the Shark Typhoon this turn as well. Okay, this might be our chance to get the Lurrus. If he has another one in hand, this is going to be really bad. So our Fox goes up to 2. Our Typhoon is a 1. So we'll be trading the Fox for the Lurrus. Oops, let's just do this. I think that's probably our best bet. The Lurrus is just going to be impossible to deal with otherwise. If he has another one in hand, we're dead, but it is what it is. Alright, so I've got 2 Voracious Great Sharks, but not enough mana to dismiss something with it. I think I'm going to sit on a Great Shark and see if I can get lucky. Countering something. If not, I'll just hardcast it. If he's smart, he won't play stuff beforehand and just attack like this. But he did go for a Mutate, so we're going to get lucky and maybe stabilize here. His Panthers are death touchy though. He's got the mana for it, so... yeah. I'm gonna leave the Shark back too. It's a good mutate if I draw Pouncing Shore Shark. So... nothing for the moment. We'll take 4. I need to find a way to deal with these Panthers. Another Typhoon would be good, but that's not what we get. So the play I want to make is Callous Dismissal, the Keyforia, and Voracious Great Shark when he goes to recast it. I don't think that's happening, though. I think I'm going to have to just trade a Great Shark for one of these Panthers, ultimately. Yeah. This Cerulean Drake's for chump blocking. Actually, I think I'll chump block with the Shark rather than the Drake. Another Panther. Seems decent. Yeah, I mean, we don't have the luxury of time anymore. This will be a lot less threatening once Keyforia is gone, but still gotta find at least a 2/2 to block them. It's a pretty cool Keyforia deck. Cats have a very low curve. Alright, so Callous Dismissal, let's work some magic here. Don't have protection. Don't get protection. Alright, so we got a 1-1. This is enough to kill exactly one panther. Great. Well, we don't have a choice. We do have to kill that. But that means that he's going to get to Keyforge next turn. Unless I draw another short shark. Or a voracious great shark. Wouldn't complain. We're going to take one and kill this panther while we have the opportunity before it becomes a 2-3. Yeah, alright, it's got Death Touch. That was unnecessary, but okay. Alright. Shark Typhoon, we're going to cycle for a big shark. I don't know what we're going to do with said shark, though. I wonder if we just want like a 3 shark. Alright, I'm not blocking. So let's get a point of damage in while I can. Okay. Goodbye, shark. Well, we're not jumping for 1 point of damage, so I go to 5. So we got 6, 8, x equals 6. Let's draw something good. The fact that this replaces itself is insane. It's like a flashy Hydroid Crisis. Obviously we're not gaining life, and I would appreciate life right now, but... Alright, he's got more removal. Oh man, and now we're bricking. Oops. No, if he plays Keyforge, I want to block the Twilight Panther. I wonder what he's got at 5 mana. Oh, Snapdax. Alright, we lose. Very good. Yeah, it was a little too aggressive for this deck. You can't deal with multiple 1-drops, which is why the Cerulean Drakes are in there. But I guess we're looking at a new type of super aggro that doesn't have red in it. Cerulean Drake would have been really nice there. I should have figured that I hadn't seen any other red that was what his red was. Okay, we'll keep this. It's got some stall. If the opponent's not too aggressive, we should be okay. We're going to double Ominous Seize this. I expect decks to start packing more main deck enchantment hate. I think that there are quite a few reasonable enchantments to go after. Pretty much all of the cycle of 3-color enchantments they introduced in Ikoria they're all pretty strong. I don't know how many of them are going to actually see any standard play, but they're all worth considering. Speaking of considering, do I want a 2-2 Shark Typhoon? I don't. I'm just going to bounce this Lipton. I don't want to take 3 more damage next turn. Yeah, sure. Can replay Linden. Yeah, Healer's Hawk is probably going to run into a Shark Typhoon, but I think more likely is we're going to get devastated next turn by a Heliod, so I would really like to draw a land. In fact, I'd like it almost enough to cycle a Shark Typhoon for nothing. I believe we can draw a land. Cycle land. It's at least something we can play. Okay. Pride mate's pride mate. So obviously we have to bounce the pride mate with the shore shark. I'm just debating, do I Typhoon the healer's hawk or mutate and I can get a kill with Linden, hopefully. So we're gonna go for the mutate. Bounce the pride mate and hopefully beat Linden. Alright, we did it. Another pouncing shore shark. It's not great the second time around, so let's see if we can just Shark Typhoon this one. Get the healer's hawk. Yeah, it's fine, pride mate. Interesting. This is the shore shark, so he can get more aggression in. Okay, well I assume that means he's going to attack then, which means our Shark Typhoon is going to take care of the healer's hawk. And we have a Brazen Borrower. Acceptable. Alright, so there's our land. We have enough to Brazen Borrower and Pouncing Shore Shark. So that is what we will do. Put some of the stuff back in his hands, and then get the Pride Mate, hopefully, with the Shore Shark. We're just going to have to deal with his extra card draw. Okay, so the Shore Shark... yeah. Seems fine. Oh, I miscounted my mana. That's not good. Wanted to get this Pride Mate countered. Oh well, we got another Bounce of the Borrower, and we're getting up to Ominous's breakpoint. Oh, he didn't recast it. That was, I think, a play mistake. Maybe he might just want the life gain and the token. No, I don't think I want to land anymore. Okay. So 9's a little low, but I feel pretty good about 2 Voracious Great Sharks. I don't think I care about this Linden. She's not big enough to really attack us. I think it was an attempt to bait out the Pride Mate. Yep, I would much rather get this big threat. Now he has no good attacks. In one turn we will get a Seize, another turn we'll get another Kraken, and it's going to be very, very impossible for him. I think the only thing I have to do now is, yeah, I think it's time to get some evasive attacks in. He doesn't have good attacks, he doesn't have good spells to cast. I mean, he's got good spells. We will do the counter. I guess he just wanted the life. I'm not sure he was aware that I had the Kraken. I think that's going to be a good game. Does have 35 life. But I have a Kraken. Alright, let's... Granted, if he gets enough mana, the Kraken's not going to be particularly strong, because he can make jump blockers, but he'll be dying to the Shore Shark. Yeah, I mean, is that fine? Yeah. It is fine. Okay, it's got another Banishing Light. I wonder what he's gonna hit. Kraken? Sure. I don't think that does anything. I was like, I can bounce the Banishing Light, and I don't think it'll exile the token. But then he'll just recast it next turn. It doesn't do much. Alright, so his Daxos is big, but it will not survive the attack, I don't think. If he blocks, I'll just bounce Linden. Does not block, because it doesn't need to. It's not really anything good to Callous Dismissal right now. Oh, there's another Banishing Light. Let me get my Kraken. Alright. It's a lot of Banishing Light. We're gonna eat that Daxos. Oh, seems really good. Okay, so my best options here, he's got Heliod automatically turned on forever. Brazen Borrower is not going to attack, so we're just going to sit here. Got Boon. Boon strong. If I bounce Heliod, I can swing for a bunch. And get... He'd have to block with the Orador, which is good. If I bounce both, then he'll have to block with Linden, which is also good. Trade Linden. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. If he doesn't give up Linden now, then he dies, so Linden's his primary source of life gain. I've got 8 in the air, and I don't think he has a way to really gain much life. 7 in the air, sorry. So he's gonna have to pay 2 to draw here. And top decks something that gains him life, like a Johnny's Pride Mate. And even then it won't put him above 7. Needs a Banishing Light? Yeah, I don't think he could win now. Well, I got a little close at the end. I greedily spent my Shore Shark to kill a Daxos. Alright, we did it. With a lot of Banishing Light. Dawn of Light's pretty good. Double Ominous Seas, Callous Essential Brazen Borrower. I need another land for this to be okay, but that can happen. We get Cycling. I'll be using Cycling to draw. There's plenty of Cycling in the deck, so I think we'll be able to draw out of this. See if my opponent's playing green for that Mystic Repeal. They're not, and we did get a Cycler. Tip. Alright, so this is probably going to be a Thassa annoying deck. Double Ominous Seas and see how far we can get before he Agents of Treacheries us to total oblivion. Alright, so we're going to discard. What shall we discard? Callous? Yeah. Didn't attack. Fishing Fox. Here's this Great Shark. We're just gonna go ahead and cycle right here. We got a land to make our land to play. And technically we can cycle again for one. I don't know if I want a one shark. I'm not really that worried about Thip. Or yeah. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that kind of card draw. Go away, Thip. Oh, we don't get our Brazen Borrow because of it. Hilarious. Okay, so I'm going to... This is a tough choice. Rescuer can put stuff on the board to put pressure on, but they typically have ways of dealing with Valiant Rescuer. He is tapped out, though. That would be obnoxious for him to deal with. He's gotta have kill spells. Or board wipes, whatever. Doom Whisperer, like that. So Valiant Rescuer was not the right choice. He gets his Disinformation campaign back, so I've got to be careful with what I keep in my hand. I don't think we're going to get out of this one. I think the card advantage is going to grind us down, since he has a big creature. But he might have trouble dealing with Ominous Seas. Doesn't seem like he has a lot of enchantment control. Neutralize. Okay. Well, I like Neutralize. I'm gonna see what he does. We can take 6 here. I think we're gonna have to bend the Great Shark, though. And then we can attack back 8 next turn if we cycle. Neutralize? No. I'm gonna double cycle here. We'll get a 0 shark, but we'll get some tokens and Ominous Seas. There's a very small chance we get 2. No, we did not. I was gonna say we might get a 2 1-cyclers and get 2 Krakens, but that is not What has happened? Alright, so he gets our shore shark. It's not the worst thing in the world. And he knows it's not worth his time to play Disinformation Campaign now. That's not going to stop him. Yeah, he didn't swing. I wonder why. He knows my hands. It must have just been a play mistake. Alright, we got Neutralize and Temple. I don't need the land. There's an argument to be made for swinging with the 1/1 as well. I think it'd be a mistake for him to block the 1/1. Eh. Goodbye, rescued human. Alright, so he's one Kraken away from lethal now, and we have a lot of bounce, so we may be able to... Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Get wrecked, Agent of Treachery. Nobody likes you. He's like, this is specifically why I made him discard all his hand last turn. Alright, so we won. He can't block Doom Whisper, or can't block Ominous Seas token. That was a very good neutralize that we drew. Yeah, Agent of Treachery Thassa decks are dumb. That's why most of my decks are running Enchantment Exile right now, Mystic Repeal, and the Barrier Breach. Thassa's dumb. Alright, let's go for 2 more games. This deck's a little slower, it likes to take its time and play safe. But it's got a lot of removal or bounce for sudden kills, which is why I enjoy playing it. Alright, no Ominous Seas, but I've got... This is a pretty mediocre hand. I'm going to keep it and see what I draw, though. It's got land, so it might get up to the Voracious Great Shark plays. Red is not great for us, though. Okay. Valiant Rescuer's legit. Probably gets at Robber of the Rich. Not blocking. Valiant Rescuer or Brazen. I'm just gonna go with the Rescuer and try and build out my board. If I draw another Flourishing Fox next turn, I can go to Rescuer, cycle Fox, have a nice army. Well, he didn't kill the Rescuer. Could just mean he has Infuriate. I want some chump blockers rather than trading right now. He's got too much mana for combat tricks. Nothing. We did draw a 1-cost Cycler. Living the dream. Okay. Spends that removal. I should have cycled before that. That was my mistake. Outlaws Merriman. Alright. We're gonna Brazen Borrower that back, and I think that's gonna be very bad news for him. Okay, so we've got some good game here. We're definitely gonna Brazen Borrower, so I've got 2 mana. I can either Flourishing Fox into play or cycle it. I think we're just going to punch for 2. Alright, he is going to go for it. We'll get the value. Oh, I got natural or neutralize. And basically time block him. So now we've got 8 damage threatened if he just goes to the merriment again. And he does. He may or may not have a shock. Let's see. I don't know what's going to be best to play right now, though. 2-2 in the air for the Shark Typhoon seems good. But creating a bunch more... I'm going to cycle just for the extra damage at the moment. Oh, sweet, we drew a land. It's like cycling's a really good ability. Alright, he's going to get his merriment token. That's the least helpful for him because it's pure aggression. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll counter that. I think that Flourishing Fox is their best creature at the moment. There's no Giant Killer follow-up. He gets Robber. Okay. So I need to cycle 2 things in order to make the Flourishing Fox not die. I think we're just gonna all-in. Just attack with everything. I don't think he's got a way to deal with a Shark type. No, he does. He's got the responses. He's gonna go for the... Okay. That's fine. He loses both his creatures. I get all the damage in. And we're gonna go for a Voracious Great Shark or a Shark Typhoon, depending on what we need. He got the least useful one again, so that's really unfortunate. Pactos. He's tapped out, so I think this just means we win. He'll need 1 mana removal. Oh, yeah. No. There's nothing that'll save him at this point. 1 mana to deal with the Great Shark and the Rescuer. We did it! That Outlaw's Merriment getting bounced is pretty unfortunate. This deck really punishes plays that try and stabilize the board but don't have an immediate impact. Like playing a big blocker is pretty useless against this deck sometimes because it's just got the Pouncing Shore Sharks, the Callous Dismissals, and the Brazen Borrowers. And if you're not in an aggressive spot, if you're playing defensively, those spells all buy a good amount of time anyways. Okay. I do not like this hand. This is way too much on the expensive side. There's no early game play. We're gonna mulligan it. Get rid of one of these Cerulean Drakes, because usually one's enough to push the red matchup, and if it's not red, then I definitely don't want to. There's not a lot going on with this hand, though. Yeah, I need that land. Red? A little bit of red. Alright, let's see if we can stick us Valiant Rescuer. I guess next turn we're just playing a Cerulean Drake. If I draw a Neutralize, I'm just going to sit on the Neutralize to cast Hushbringer. Okay, well, that's pretty good. That's like 90% of our deck. So obviously you're not going to trade it, of course. No Voracious Great Sharks or Shore Sharks for us. We can still cycle though, just fine. Brazen Borrower still works. So we're not dead. Yep, he's gonna laugh when he sees that. He's like, well, I didn't have to worry about those anyways. I'm assuming he takes the Shore Shark. No, he doesn't. We may be able to kill his Hushbringer with the Shore Shark. I just hope his removal is red. Oh, he's playing Planeswalkers. Okay. Well, get him for 3. And if we're lucky, he'll play some boring creature and attack, and then we can kill the Hushbringer. I'm not really counting on it, though. This is probably going to be like a 4-mana Planeswalker that devastates us. I don't really trust it. But we're gonna go for it. Oh, it works! Fun. Well, let's try and eat it. Did we do it? You looked at our hand and immediately forgot what Shore Shark does. Or maybe he just wants to stick this creature that he's about to play. Nice! We got wrecked. Sure. We're gonna play it. This is definitely an appropriate time to cycle. But, yeah. We've got nothing going on anyways, so let's try and stall this out literally as long as possible. Presumably what he's getting is going to be enchantment removal. Banishing Light, maybe. Sorcerer's Spyglass. Why would he pick Sorcerer's Spyglass? Alright, I'm going to seize his toast. That's fine, I can cycle all future copies. We could... oh, that's actually a really risky play for him. I don't know if he realizes this, but with Callous Dismissals and other bouncing removal, I can just stock up counters on it, and eventually just bounce it. Be hilarious if he goes and gets another one. I probably should have countered this. Chromatic Lantern, huh? I guess I could counter the Lantern still. Next turn. Alright, we're taking one. You know, a Flourishing Fox might be reasonable. If I cycle, then it can get a big creature, and it'll just get, like, literally killed. Whatever. I have a Neutralize. Surely that will save its life. And he has access to pretty much every color between these three. And let it resolve. I'm gonna cycle it. Yeah, we got a land. Nice. It's the only time I'd like to have a land. Alright, we got a land. As I was just saying, this is not a time I would like to have a land. Yeah, we're definitely losing this game, by the way. If you were curious.
I do hope you make this battle exciting for me. Rise!
I'm gonna cycle this Triumph at some point. Pouncing Shore Shark wouldn't be bad. Oh, it doesn't fly. Is he gonna kill my Flourishing Fox?
All will bow before Nicol Bolas.
Cerulean Drake. Could be useful.
I outsmarted you eons ago.
Yeah. Between these two, there's no way that we're gonna win, though. Hushbringer. You mean I can't Voracious Great Shark you?
Good, mindless minion.
I mean, I see why he's attacking here. He wants the card. Yeah. I don't think that's a good idea. Shark Typhoon. That's a good card. Is it the only thing that can save our neck? I don't think cycling Cycling might be able to kill one of his planeswalkers. Yeah. Might be able to kill his Nicol Bolas. No, I can't actually. Not enough power.
Good help is easy to find in war.
All there is to know.
Maybe we can get him to draw. Make so many creatures that I can wipe the board and make him draw out his deck. Bolas the Citadel. Maybe he'll accidentally kill himself with it. I know that's not what's happening here. He's playing 10 for a minute so he can just deal 10 damage to me. He's got a bunch of flyers now. So let's I think it's only 5, right? Yeah. We got 5/5. Death to Hushbringer. And take that zombie. Alright. Well, we absolutely can't kill anything, so let's just cycle forever. I think I'm just gonna concede. There's no way this is gonna happen. Not with all these planeswalkers in play. We just didn't have an aggressive enough hand that could deal with all those planeswalkers. Seems good. This is a deck, though. I've had pretty good success with it. I do like it. It's got some options if you want to fiddle around with it, change up your matchups a little bit. You've got Mystical Disputes fine as a main deck for this. I think there's going to be a lot of good blue cards that are going to see play. Jeskai stuff, blue planeswalkers. This will help get you an important mana advantage if you're playing against counterspell decks. This deck likes to play pretty mana efficiently, so having a 1 mana counterspell is going to be a pretty big deal. It just isn't always relevant, so I don't know what I would cut for it though. Probably the Cerulean Drakes. You're basically making a meta call that you're going to run into blue, not red. So you take out the Drakes, you put in the Mystical Disputes, and you should be able to out-counter them. Just play out stuff on the early turns and then protect your board. Whirlwind Denial is a card, if you haven't heard about before, I think is going to see a lot more relevant play. The important thing about it is it counter any spell or ability. Activated ability, planeswalker ability, spells, triggers. What this means is that it can counter some stuff that your opponent wouldn't expect. If they go to ult a planeswalker, you can shut it down, assuming they don't have 4 mana up, which is not a safe assumption for planeswalker stuff. But if they cast something that has like a trigger when you cast it, like if a Shark Typhoon's in play, you can counter both the spell and the token that Shark Typhoon's making. If they go to cycle Shark Typhoon, you can cycle both the draw from it and the token the Typhoon is making, even though most people consider Shark Typhoon to be uncounterable. And Yadaro. I don't know if Yadaro is going to be a deck, but when they cycle it, they can put it into play. Whirlwind Denial can both shut down both the cycle and the put into play. Of course, Yadaro you're cycling for 2, so good chances that they're going to have, 4 extra mana. But if they're cutting their mana tight, trying to do end of their turn maybe, or end of your turn, you can catch it, shut down the card draw and the creature. It's got some potential to blow people out unexpectedly. We've also got options as Dovin. If you want more early pressure, you can make tokens with Dovin. And since we've got stuff like the Valiant Rescuer and Creature Bounce, it's not impossible to +1 him and get a couple counters. It just punishes people that are playing a little bit slower. So this helps you on your early aggression. I would probably take out Ominous Seas for this. Ominous Seas or Neutralize, I think, is where I would end up taking out. Just since it's another early game drop, you're doing that instead of Ominous Seas. Teferi makes sense. He plays right into the bouncing plan. We don't really have any sorceries we're planning on taking advantage with his +1, but being able to play this and then bounce something that they play later helps you keep your early board protected. And Shatter the Sky makes sense. Even though we build out a board with Shark Typhoon, Voracious Great Shark, this sort of thing, having stabilizers that can just wipe the board clean and let you play like a hard cast Shark Typhoon, or you sit on Shatter the Sky, you bounce what they play after you shatter, and then sit on Voracious Great Sharks. You can just kind of keep the board clean and keep attacking that way. So it's a fine replacement for the early game. I would probably take out Valiant Rescuer for it, or maybe the Cerulean Drake. I think the Drake's still important. Shatter the Sky doesn't come down fast enough to stop red decks. They already put you down to like 4 by that time, and then they're just a couple burn spells away. But it's got some pretty classic options. You can try Dream Trawler in it if you want to play pretty standard blue-white. I'm sure it's good. Dream Trawler is always a good card. Probably going to have cards to pitch to it, so it seems fine. But yeah, the deck's done pretty well. I've enjoyed it. Got a lot of other wacky things that I've been brewing. I've been playing around with decks all week, basically trying to make a couple different things work. I think Luca Control is going to be fun. Haven't managed to make Ozolith with Simic Ascendancy broken yet. I'm going to keep working on it. Been tinkering with a blue version, or a blue-white version of that escape combo. It's not good. If you haven't seen it, this deck is terrible. It Corridor Monitor untaps Nyx Lotus. You keep cycling the Corridor Monitor with Escape Protocol. Whenever you cycle a card, you put the monitor back into play, and eventually generate enough mana to kill them with Folio Fancies. It's too many cards in a combo, but it's something. It certainly does things. But I've been having a ton of fun with Ikoria. I don't know what I'm going to show you guys next week. A lot of just kind of good stuff decks, but I gotta find something of appropriate jankiness. So I'll have something interesting next week for you. And in the meantime, I'm going to upload another sealed pool and probably another draft too for next week. So got some more stuff coming down the pipeline, and we'll have a next episode next Friday.